Okay, we'll still record. So this is the Embodied Feminine Collective Week 3. And what we're going to talk about today is super personal. It's working with this moon. There's a full moon this weekend, and it's the full moon in Leo. And so some of the things to think about and know about with this full moon specifically is it's all about being seen without performing. Being seen without performing. And what it's really asking us, and this is a question that you want to write down and really, really think about. I'm going to give you some specific questions. I also want you to know that I have sent each of you a document. I created a full moon ritual for you specifically based off the information I have up to this point on your clarity code. So it is unique for you. It's literally taken your birth chart, your astrology, where it is right now in this moment, this weekend, while this full moon is active, and what specifically would be for you. So they're all different, but you each have one. Here's the question, okay? This is one thing you want to start to think about. And I'm glad that we're talking about it today because this full moon is happening over the weekend. It's and so it's something that you can start to prepare and think about. And we talk about this regularly and this cycle that we do in life over and over and over and over again, where we prepare, we have the experience, and then we integrate. So I want you to think about applying that to this ritual. And here's how you're going to prepare. Here's your question. Where am I still performing for belonging instead of trusting my natural radiance? And I want you to just witness when you do this, how you do this. It's so fascinating. I believe we all do this the minute we open the door to greet someone, the minute we get on a call. It's like, you notice sometimes that, like, when your voice changes or like your tone changes. And I'll notice this sometimes when I'm sending an audio message, and I'll literally notice like that sounded like performing or like inauthentic or something. It's almost like I'm talking to or talking at or to someone or something instead of just like, I'm going to stop and look in your eyes. And this can get tricky for me on an audio text because it does feel a little bit like in my head instead of like looking at the person and talking to them. So I have to practice really just thinking about seeing the person's face and like, if what if I were talking to them right now instead of at them? Does this make sense? So, where am I performing for belonging instead of trusting my natural radiance? Leo is the heart. When we think about Leo, Leo is totally heart energy. And the feminine doesn't earn visibility, she allows herself to be felt. So this is very different about being seen visibly versus being felt. You know, when someone walks in the room and you can just feel it, you can just feel them. And not because they are, um, again, this is the word, performing in any way or like doing a thing to be seen, but you just feel like this presence when they walk in the room. And
Yeah,
this
their
is the
inner light
energy
is
that
like shiny. That's what I feel like. The
totally,
inner light that's shiny. That's how I feel like it.
exactly,
You feel someone, it's like
exactly.
they just come in and that
Yes.
light is there.
100%. So it's more about how you're being felt, is what you're saying, and being so it's all about, we're talking, Jen, about this, the energy of what's happening right now with this full moon. It's called the snow moon. And this moon is all about trusting. Um, it's being seen without performing. Okay. And so it's not really about doing, but it's more about being. And so the question is, where am I still performing for belonging instead of trusting my natural radiance? Um, the full moon is not about doing more. It's not about being louder, and it's not about proving your worth at all. Instead, it's actually about releasing effort, softening in the presence, and letting the truth be sensual and sensed before it's spoken. So thinking about the senses, right? It's, and again, when you enter the room, when people turn and look, or they like feel you coming, or they can sense you being there, instead of like this voice or this outward expression. When you think about Leo is the solar plexus energy. Okay, it's your personal power. It's just under your ribs. It's this, like, I always think about it as like the Care Bear stare. It's like that Care Bear, that energy, that like, okay, I'm radiating here, but it's not voice activated. It isn't really, there's not a lot about speaking, and there's not a lot about what you're going to say. It's more about like how you show up and how you be. This is why the ritual that I sent you, this ritual that I sent over to you, that is very specific for you. And it is all about how you specifically show up in your human design and also in your Enneagram. So I shared that with you this morning. Just make sure that you take a look at that.
Did you send it in email or Marco?
I sent it in an email. It's a document. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And it's super easy. And then that way, if you want to like look at it or print it off, there's a candle in the ritual. And it's just going to be specifically for you. And Jen, as go ahead and look at it now, because
Okay.
what I was mentioning to Brittany is, remember how I've talked about, and you're gonna hear me say this over and over. And the reason why is because I want you to start noticing this in life. Everything in life, there's a preparation. Then there is an aha moment, or the ritual, or the experience, or whatever it is. And then there's the integration, the part after it, where you're like, okay, how am I going to now take what I learned and apply it into my life? But the preparation part is really important. And that's what we're doing right now. We're literally preparing. We're literally thinking about like, okay, how does this show up in my life? And what is this? And how do I just like, but how do I make it really specific? Again, I want you to just think about like the most specific way of doing this. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here we go. All right, great. I wanted to change the gallery on this so that it was all showing. Sorry, it was just a thing. So what this full moon like is going to talk to you about is it's visibility without effort. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about visibility without effort. Okay. Leo wants to be seen. Everything Leo, you think about the lion, you think about like people in your life who have typically like a late July, August birthday. They have big personalities. It's the sun. It's literally the sun. But the feminine doesn't chase attention. So think about like, how do I attract, magnetize, draw things in by just being versus more doing? And this is again why you have to get so centered and so aligned and so vibrant from within, that you're literally radiating and attracting and magnetizing this into your life, instead of like hustling and going to get it and changing and chasing it. Radiating instead of performing. And when we over manage perception, we disconnect from the body. So all of this is like embodiment. It's all about how you can be seen, not in what you do, but instead it's something that happens when you stop hiding or shaping yourselves. How often do we like kind of wear different hats or have different tones of voice with different people, right? Versus just like consistently showing up. Um, like I said before, the Leo energy is all about being heart led. And so um, this is a big one about like self-expression versus like fitting in, because it's your heart, right? And it's what truly comes from your heart. Um, and it's all about you. Doesn't have to really do with anyone else. So don't abandon yourself, and don't dominate to lead, right? And staying really rooted in your center, and let connection start to organize around you. This one's it's a big like trust thing of, wait a second, I don't have to do more. I can just like be. So you have to think about what is the energy that you're attracting. And this is, you got to get really, really clear. What is the energy that I want to attract? And write it down. If it's whatever that is, get specific. And then you be that. This is you being that. This performance and control, this moon is asking you to release that. So I love it because it means all about you, and it even literally says, I'm gonna say some of these things to each of you. It says, let's see, for Jen, control, releasing control and the armor, releasing, being armored up in control. Brittany, self, um, oh, yours is all about peace, Brett. Yours is just like just finding peace within you and bringing your energy in, so it's just like solid and you feel peace. No performing. The feminine leads by truth and timing, not force. This is what you're going to hear over and over and over again. It's not about being forceful. It's just about you really doing this. So this is how this is going to show up differently. Okay. So it's the same moon, obviously, but it's different medicine for each of you based off your clarity code. So I'm going to start with you, Jen.
Okay.
Softening control without losing power. And I know this is a big one for you, especially when you're like, look, I've launched this business, this company, like I am in my masculine, I am like running shit. And yes, you are. And we are not asking you at all to not do that. That's the masculine in you that is thriving. It's showing up right now. It's alive right now. It's helping you accomplish the things that you want. We want you to keep doing that. But in those moments where you decide on purpose, I'm going to step out of that masculine role and I'm going to like be present in this moment. And maybe that's only right now in your life, honestly. Maybe you're like, I'm only doing that 30 to 40%. And that's okay. But
Okay.
it's all about doing it on purpose. Okay. Everything is on purpose and noticing and setting aside specific time to say, you know what? I'm just going to really practice embodying my feminine for the next hour or for the next 2 hours or while I'm on this date with Brandon or while I go to lunch with this person. Or honestly, babe, this is going to be the biggest practice for you. How do you turn this on and off when you're with clients and when you're running the business? Right?
Yeah.
Because when you're with your client is when you want them to feel seen. You want them to feel your softness. You want them to feel all of these things coming from you. And so this is a big practice because it's literally like a light switch. It's like when you walk in that room, the light switch turns. And then when you walk out of that room, the light switch turns. And you go from being CEO, boss babe, running shit, dialing everything in to then like, oh, now I'm going to walk in this room and I'm going to listen and I'm going to be soft and I'm going to be nurturing with this patient. So,
Right.
a couple of things are your pattern. Okay. This is your pattern based off your clarity code is that strength comes through control and protection through force. So your natural way is like you feel strong and you feel protected when you're in control and when there's force or leadership, you could say. Leo lesson for you is that power doesn't disappear when you soften. It deepens. So think about like your power and when you're sitting there with someone, that power doesn't disappear. You still know everything that you know. You are still a wealth of knowledge. You are still the expert. You can still call on that at any point in time, 100%. And so you still have an opportunity to kind of soften, right? And go into this patient doctor nurse role with them. The feminine allows emotion to move before acting. So just kind of listening and checking in and like really, really hear. And you're doing this already, but really, really hearing what the client is saying. Another thing you can remember is that true strength includes tenderness, right? So it's like that compassionate piece, that tender piece, that like, I mean, Jen, you know this. There are women, I literally was I am someone's she's going to be coming your way, but we were having this conversation yesterday and at lunch and she was just like Kate, for years, like this premenopausal thing in my life and like the brain fog and like gaining weight and like all of this. And so, right, like some people have been dealing with this for
Yeah.
years, and you are the solution and you have that for them. But maybe some of the softness or the feminine could be like this compassionate piece when you hear them sharing these things that they're just like, oh my gosh, and bringing it to you and being able to hold that with them for a little bit. Um, so embodying the feminine takeaway for you is I don't push to be powerful and I let presence do the work. So your big work in the application of this is being present, being present. And I know that you're thinking about all the things, right? Scanning the room, all the things, probably thinking about things that you can improve or what you would do or whatever, and just really see if you can practice just like being fully present with that client in the moment so that they feel you and they feel your power and they feel your like truly like she's got me, like I totally feel it with her. um does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
And what I found, so it rings true totally because I think for a long time it's like this, like you say, the armor.
Yeah.
That you know what, if I hold my presence and I hold the professionalism and don't allow myself to be real and raw and let them get to know me, which sounds so dumb, but it's like I don't want to give them too much information because maybe I'll cry with them or I'll come across as not being like a
Yeah.
professional. And what
Yes.
I found over the years, if I'm just real and if I'm just transparent, like it, there's the connection flows a lot easier. So
Yes.
it's it's like this continual thing of like it's okay, Jen. You don't have to like you can be a person and
Yes.
let them know like yeah, we I've been through this shit too,
Yes.
or I really do empathize with you and
Yep.
it's okay to cry or like show emotion and feel
Yep.
and to feel their pain with them, right? Rather than to feel like I have to be so held back.
I get that. I get that. So what you just get to remember is your softness doesn't diminish. It doesn't take away from like your knowledge, your expertise, like your professionalism at all. And that softness with that client, then they feel seen, or the patient, they feel seen, they feel understood. They're like, oh my gosh, she gets it. And and you're getting a lot of the same things over and over and over, right? And over and over and
Yeah.
these same conversations. So maybe even just remembering that like each of these women has been holding something for so long, and being able to meet her in that and just be like, oh my gosh, because I'm sure not even just months, but like longer than that, because Britt was saying this the other day. It's like you sometimes don't realize you're in the fog or you don't realize you're in it until you're in it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like, wow, I've been in this for a while. So
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I love that. And yeah, and you have the wisdom, you have all the things. Like there's nothing, just remember there is nothing for you to prove. Nothing for you to prove. Okay. Now, Brittany, this is interesting because you are claiming your voice without conflict. So let me go into that a little bit more. Your pattern is merging or keeping the peace or delaying the truth. You just kind of want to sometimes keep the peace or like delay the truth. And so the lesson for you is expression creates alignment, not separation. Okay. And so when you're doing this, the feminine doesn't rush clarity. She lets it arrive through sound. So interesting here. And then speaking the truth is an act of self-honoring, not disruption. So you speaking your truth is is what you need to do, but come from a place of clarity and peace that cost self-abandonment isn't peace. So your whole thing is a lot about self-abandonment, right? And like, when do you not shine to keep the peace? When do you not radiate because your light might feel too big for people, or your energy might feel too much. So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna like be over here because I don't want to. I don't want to like take up too much space. Your voice is safe and you don't disappear in belonging. Those are big concepts here for you. It's just again, it's like this peacemaker in you that doesn't want conflict.
Yeah,
Doesn't want conflict.
I'll take a back seat. I'd rather just
Yeah.
take a back seat than to ruffle anyone's feathers. It's
Yeah.
just
I'll just do it.
it's not
I'll
worth
just do
it.
it. I'll take a back
Okay.
seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't rush it. Don't
Okay.
rush it. Don't feel like when you feel a thing, just notice and be like, oh, I'm noticing that like I'm kind of taking a back seat on this. Okay, why? This whole practice for you two is all about noticing. Literally, it's more awareness than anything. It's the preparation part of this isn't doing. You're just noticing, oh, where do I do that? Oh, interesting how I'm responding that way. Oh, fascinating that I feel this way. Or like, oh, I'm witnessing and noticing myself, just contracting or wanting to put the armor on or wanting to like go into like my masculine energy of like, well, let me tell you all the things, just notice. I only want you to notice until your moon ritual, and then your ritual is gonna kind of crack some things open. I'm gonna guide you through a meditation around this to kind of open up this curiosity, open up this thing for you and just see what comes up. And this will be the thing that you're kind of taking with you and noticing before you do your ritual, your very specific one. So when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes. And I just want you to arrive here right now. So just breathe. Let yourself get comfortable. There's nothing to accomplish here, nothing to fix, and actually nothing to become. Just arrive and take a slow breath in through your nose and just let it out through your mouth. Maybe sigh it out. Take another slow breath through your nose and let it out through your mouth. Inhale gently. And every time you exhale, just let the body soften. This full moon in Leo lives in your heart. So bring attention to the center of your chest. You're not forcing again, just noticing your chest, your heart, and the rhythm of your heartbeat. Notice your heart beating in your chest. This moon is illuminating where you've been performing and where you've been holding. And notice if you feel that tension or that holding on, and just give yourself permission again to just soften. We're going to go deeper into where you've been managing how you're seen instead of resting in who you actually are. And you don't need to analyze that. Just let the body recognize that tension or that holding. And with every breath, you're just softening even more. So as you inhale, you're making space. And as you exhale, you're just imagining releasing any effort. Let your heart be soft. And now ask yourself, where have I been dimming myself to belong? Where have I been dimming myself to belong? And now ask yourself, where have I been pushing instead of allowing? And let whatever come. Any images or sensations, all of it is welcome. This full moon isn't asking you to be louder, it's asking you to be truer. So imagine a warm, steady light in your heart and feel the warmth of that light in your heart. This is your natural radiance. Doesn't need permission or approval. It's already here. So with each breath, let that light expand, not outward. Keep it in. Let it become an anchor. Feel your feet and your body supported, and let yourself be held by the ground beneath you. Now repeat silently, I don't need to perform to be worthy. I don't need to perform to be worthy. I don't need to force to be seen. I don't need to force to be seen. And I trust my presence. Notice how your body responds when you say that. This full moon is also about releasing. So if there's something you're ready to let go of, maybe an old role or an expectation or a version of yourself that you're just tired of, you're ready to let it go. You don't actually even have to name it, but just imagine setting it down and letting it go. And let your heart feel lighter. Take a deep breath in again, just slowly and long. Take an exhale and let it all go. Just give yourself permission again to release this way of being that has kept you from being the soft, grounded, confident feminine and the performer that's protected you in some kind of way. Just bring that energy into your heart and alchemize it. And remind yourself that you did this for protection. It kept you safe. So just give that compassion and grace and gratitude. And bring now an intention that you want into your heart of how you actually want to show up, how you want to be, not what you want to do, but this feeling. How do you want people to feel when they're around you? And see if you can bring that feeling into your heart. And now imagine that radiating out of your heart, the light and that energy, that feeling that you want people to feel when they're with you. And let that feeling move into your body, every cell of your body, feeling that. So that that energy is radiating and magnetizing without actually having to do anything, just being. And feel what that feels like in your body. And ask your cells to remember this. Every cell in your body. Ask those cells to remember this frequency and the vibration. This is your true self. This is who you be. Notice the ease and the peace and the calm in your body. Notice how grounded you feel and supported. and fill in the blank for yourself. I am. I am. And one more time. I am. And take a deep breath in and exhale. And again, just notice the way that you feel now. And when you're ready, blink open your eyes. And I'd love for you to just share what are you? I am. What came up for you? I am. I love you too so much, by the way. Thank you for being vulnerable and just like going there on a Thursday morning at 9:48 when you're like, okay, I don't know if I have time for this. Thank you for just like going there. What are you? I am.
The few words that came to mind for me were I am a queen, I am
Mm,
peace, I am a safe space, I am an expert. Those are
yes.
some of the things that came up.
Yes, Jane. Yes, you are. Jen? Ooh, I feel like you need like a plaque or something that you can see that reminds you those words. Like literally, like I am this, I am this. And that you see it and it's like your mantra. It's your reminder. It's like, this is who I am. I'm all like emotional right now because the power of the words I am are literal creation. Literal. When you say that out loud, like honestly, when you said it, I was like, whoa, yes, queen. Yes, you are an expert. Yes, you are a safe space. Like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Like that clarity and knowing that like this is who you are is it is who you are. And when you said it, it did a thing inside of me of like, that is truth. So remind yourself of that truth. Remind yourself before you speak to your team, before you talk to a, a patient, a client, like this is who you are. This is who you are as a grandmother. This is who you are as a wife. This is who you are as a partner. This is who you are as a businesswoman. This is who you be over and over and over again. And so it is. And so it is. Yeah.
Um, the other thing that comes up is like in
Yeah.
the back of my mind, and it's been like this whole week. I don't know why, but it's like it's almost like that imposter syndrome. Like, well, are you
Oh,
really? Like,
oh,
why does that happen? Like, then I
I'll
go,
tell you.
so then I
Go ahead.
talk myself through it again and again
Yep.
and again, and then I'm like, but are you? That
Uh-huh.
like,
Uh-huh. I hear you.
yeah, it's just it's one of those things, and I'm like, I've never thought of myself as like an imposter, but it's so weird, like that little like voice or that thought.
Mm,
It's like a fleeting
yep.
thought.
Uh-huh.
I don't stay on it, but it just comes.
Okay.
Are you
Interesting.
really? Is that what you really are? Is that what? Well, and then
Hmm.
I'm like, well, of course I am. So,
Yeah. But the fact that it's even coming up, right?
right.
Uh-huh. So, two things. Thank you for sharing that. Number one, we are at the very, 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 very end of a not of well, lots of cycles. 9 years specifically, the year of the snake. Literally, we just completed a 9 year cycle. Two things, Jen. I want you to go back and I want you to look at what was happening in your life in January 9 years ago. Look for themes. Look for like, did you feel like an imposter then? What is coming up for you? Because as this 9 year ends, and it didn't end on December 31st, 2025, it actually ends on February 17th, 2026, based off Chinese astrology. There is energy in the last 9 years that you are ending, that you are clearing out, that you are finally like, I'm letting that go. And whatever's coming up for you in the back of your mind, the subconscious, that like imposter thing is the tail end of the snake. It's the very, very end. It's like, you sure? Are you sure you're qualified? Are you sure you're the expert? Are you sure you believe you're a queen?
Wow. That's when I graduated 9 years ago from
Oh,
my doctoral program.
oh,
So I'll
well,
be an NP for 9 years as of May.
okay. Okay. There you go. That's why it's coming up.
Yeah, that's
That's
perfect.
it. So when it comes up, you can literally remind yourself, yeah, I've spent a decade doing this. Do I know everything? No. Am I still open to learning? Always. But I know a lot about what I know about the last 9 years, and I'm the expert of that. And you know why? Because you're the expert of your life. And you're qualified because you are the expert of your own life. So when that comes up, you just get to know that's 9 years ago. That's that girl that just graduated that felt that way. And that's okay. You just love her and you just let her know, like, yeah, girl, we are the expert on what we're the expert on. Not everything in the world, but we're the expert
Yeah.
on this. Right. And like, yeah. And just reminder, just like yeah, that's what's up. So just sit with her, love her, thank her, remind her, like, yep, that's what's there. Thank you for sharing that. Britt, what were your I ams?
My I ams, the first one that came to me was I am my wild divine self.
Ooh, yes,
And
you are.
my second one was I am calm and free. And my
Okay.
third one, which makes me cry, is I'm my own light. I,
Hmm.
for several years, have just dimmed my own light, and I can see that, and I can see that in my repeat patterns. And when you said like 9 years ago, I was like 9 years ago,
Yeah.
a huge, huge shift in my life. And so I was like, that was the start of when my go into the menstrual cycle, that whole coursing, my sexual classes, all of my, that was 9 years ago when I started all of that. And I did my medicine wheel. I did all of these things at that beginning of that year, 9 years ago. And so that was that start of finding myself again. I had lost myself for many, many years, and so many things had happened through my divorce and all of that. And that was that time where I truly was my wild free self. I have a very unique relationship partnership, and we were at our peak at that time. We have been together, it'll be 12 years this year. And so we were at our peak of truly being free and wild, and that is who I am. That's always who I have been at heart. And I have shifted, and I have put different caps and hats on, and I have forgotten myself.
Mm.
And this is the year that I really don't want to forget. I want to embody. And I think the
Yeah.
reason why I forget is because it's not that I don't have the tools. It's not that I don't have the knowledge. It's none of that. It's just truly I haven't actually owned it and embodied it and claimed it myself. I've just told myself this, but I haven't actually claimed it.
Yeah.
And I think that is this year for me is claiming all of this. I know who I am. I know what I want to do. And I continue to put it off because I put other hats on. And this time
Mhm.
it's I can have all of these hats and I can still
Mhm.
have this. And in the meditation, this part where you said like bring everything back, it was that moment of I could see myself bringing all of my arms in and all of my plates falling, that I've been trying to juggle all of these plates, and I let him fall. And I laughed because it's like, I don't care. I don't care that they all crumbled because I'm still standing. I'm still fine. And that's all that matters. And so I think for me, that's what this is truly to embody the things that I already know. I already know who I am.
Mhm.
I know what I'm
Mhm.
here to do, and then really step into it. So those were my items.
Thank you. This is so cool. Britt, my wild divine self Isn't that beautiful that this was your work that you started 9 years ago? 9 years ago. This is so beautiful because what you're doing is you're truly integrating the last 9 years. This is that cycle I said I'm going to tell you, and we're going to talk about it over and over and over again. This is like the thing that I feel like in the last 9 years I've learned more than anything is that we cycle. We already know this. We cycle, but there is a universal pattern to the way things go. We prepare, we have the experience, we integrate. We prepare, we have the great girls, you've prepared. You you know it. You've been studying, learning, like it's all there. The clarity, the aha, right? Whatever came from that for you two is, being the queen, being the expert, being the safe space, being the wild, divine self, calm, free, and your own light. There's nothing more for you to learn. You got it. This embodiment is about being. It is about fully not taking what you know, what you feel in your heart, what your soul is aligned with, and let your body and your nervous system believe it. This is body integration work, which is fascinating because when we start anything, we typically start with the physical, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to drink water, I'm going to rest well, I'm going to whatever. The whole world's talking about taking care of your physical body. What's fascinating is we're going almost like full circle here, literally coming full circle where we started. Then we learned the thing. We felt it in our heart. Our soul was like, oh yeah, this is who I be. And now your body, your nervous system is regulating and coming online with the last 9 years, this last full cycle. And you're starting a new year, year one, February 17th. It's the new book. It's the now this embodied version of you as the version of yourself that you've been creating and like becoming over the last 9 years. So today's takeaway for you: stick with this, stay with this, sit with this, observe, just notice. Notice those thoughts, Jen. Notice those things, Britt, where you like notice yourself like, oh, my light feels a little bit dimmer today. Okay, what am I going to do to source in myself so that that light radiates from within? And when you look over this full moon ritual that I created just for you, specifically for you, practice it, use it, make it intentional, like work with the energy that is there and you're specific, and practice the embodiment of that. Allow yourself to like truly, truly like embody that. And this is the embodiment. This is the practice. This is the work. And again, I'm creating all this stuff for you to take and you to do because that's the embodiment practice. I am not here to teach you more. You know plenty. You know plenty. You are experts of your own lives and you are experts of yourselves. And now you get to look at this thing and go, oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to connect some dots here. I'm going to create an opportunity to have this ritual for myself and spend some time with you. Spend some time with you. So I love that. Thank you both for sharing. You
Thank you.
are truly, truly, truly incredible women. So I see you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.